Hello everyone, welcome to the Erican Book Club. Today we are talking about this book, Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse. Hermann Hesse? Hermann Hesse? Hermann Hesse? Hermann Hesse?
Hermann Hesse. Hermann Hesse.
Have you ever found yourself searching for the meaning of life? That's exactly what Siddhartha explores. Today I'm breaking down Hermann Hesse's spiritual masterpiece and why it still captivates readers today. Hermann Hesse was a German-born novelist and poet who lived from 1877 to 1962. He was one of the most influential writers of the 20th century, but his life wasn't exactly easy. Growing up in a religious household, Hesse constantly rebelled against authority and tradition. He struggled with depression, identity, and, finding his place in this world. Does that sound familiar? That inner conflict became the heart of everything he wrote. Hesse was deeply interested in Eastern philosophy, psychology, and spirituality. He traveled around the world, read extensively, and was obsessed with the question of meaning and self-discovery. When he wrote Siddhartha in 1922, he wasn't just telling a story. He was, in fact, writing about his own spiritual search for meaning. Hermann Hesse won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1946, partly because of works like Siddhartha. But here's what's fascinating about the book. It wasn't immediately successful or famous. It became a cult classic, especially with readers seeking alternative paths to meaning and wisdom. Alright, now I'm going to be real with you. When I first picked up this book, I thought Siddhartha would be about the Buddha himself, like an actual story of the Buddha. But in fact, Siddhartha is set in ancient India and follows a young man named Siddhartha who had everything. A lovely family, respect in his community, but he became restless and he felt an inner emptiness despite his privileged life. He makes a radical decision. He leaves home to seek enlightenment, not as a Buddhist monk, but as a wanderer, determined to discover the truth for himself. And that's where the real journey begins. Along the way, Siddhartha encounters several transformative experiences. First, he meets the Buddha himself. But here's the twist. Even meeting Buddha doesn't instantly enlighten him. Siddhartha realizes that enlightenment can't be taught or given. It has to be experienced. Next, he falls in love with this courtesan chick named Kamala. He abandons his spiritual quest for years, chasing wealth, pleasure, and passion. He becomes a wealthy merchant eventually, living a very wealthy lifestyle, living in excess. But the emptiness eventually returns. Siddhartha realizes that his indulgence does not satisfy his soul. He spent years searching externally for the answer. Well, the answer is always down here. Then comes his lowest point. Broken and disillusioned, he contemplates suicide by the river. But instead, the river saves him, literally and spiritually. He finds work as a ferryman, and the river becomes his greatest teacher. Finally, through years of listening to the river, observing life, and connecting with others, Siddhartha achieves something profound. Not enlightenment in a religious sense, but wisdom. He understands that all things are connected, that suffering and joy are part of life's flow, that peace comes from acceptance and not resistance. Here's a part of the book that I really enjoyed. It's in the chapter called In the Samanas. Hermann Hesse writes, "A heron flew over the bamboo forest, and Siddhartha accepted the heron into his soul. flew over forest and mountains, was a heron, ate fish, felt the pangs of the heron's hunger, spoke the heron's croak, died a heron's death. A dead jackal was lying on the sandy bank, and Siddhartha's soul slipped inside the body. Was the dead jackal, lay on the banks, got bloated, stank, decayed, was dismembered by hyenas, was skinned by vultures, turned into a skeleton, turned to dust, was blown across the fields. And Siddhartha's soul returned, had died, had decayed, was scattered as dust, had tasted the gloomy intoxication of the cycle, waited in new thirst like a hunter in the gap, where he could escape from the cycle, where the end of the causes, where the eternity without suffering began. He killed his senses, he killed his memory, he slipped out of his self into 1,000 other forms, was an animal, was a carrion, was a stone, was wood, was water, and awoke every time to find his old self again. Sun shone or moon, was himself again, turned round in the cycle, felt thirst, overcame the thirst, felt new thirst. My God. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, here's what really makes Siddhartha timeless. It's not really about Buddhism or spirituality in the traditional sense. It's about the human search for meaning. Siddhartha reminds us that wisdom isn't found in a single moment or location. It's woven into the human experience. Every mistake, every connection we make, that's the genius of Hermann Hesse. If you love philosophical fiction that challenges how you see life, this book is for you. Have you read Siddhartha? Did it mean anything to you? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next week.